After 435 days of strategizing, designing, testing shapes, and pushing ourselves to the brink, I'm now in Vietnam. We got 1 week to finish the first sample of the bag I'm building. The bag is taking a little bit longer, but that's because I started off a little bit slower. I wanted to make sure we had all our ducks in a row. But now we put together a dream team to help me build a bag that's gonna keep you streamlined, laser focused, and at the top of your game. This is the Sang, our factory. Let's go inside. All right, we jumped right into it and we're focusing on the whole bag. It's like a smorgasbord of sampling right now. The young lady behind me, she's actually focusing exclusively on the front compartment right now, AKA the hatch. She's putting the pockets together, making sure the dimensions are right, making sure there's enough space, that the material is sewn in the right way. And the gentleman behind me is working on the back panel, which is looking really good. One thing to note too that's very important about the sampling process is notice the color of the mesh. Now this is a nice mesh, one we're considering using, but it's gray. And I have no intention on using gray for the final sample. But it's the only material that we had available and we haven't made an order for any other mesh yet, so we said, okay, we're going with the gray. Now some things to show you on this back panel. We got the hidden wallet pocket in the back, big enough for a passport and a wallet or a secret stash. And then on the other side, we have, which is without a doubt, the biggest gamble feature that we have is the stowable water bottle pocket solution. I am so curious to how well this will work. And then as for the actual back panel, let me bring in Luke real fast. He's the master. Luke.
Yeah, well, you've obviously asked for a nice comfortable back panel, right? This one here is a Athlon foam, and it's what we call skived around the edge, so we make it thinner because we have to sew this into the seam and we don't want the seam to be. Then we have the PU pads, and we can control the sponginess or the softness of these pads.
How spongy or soft have we gone right now?
This is a 50 kilogram PU foam, so it's not so soft that it just collapses under you, but it's got a little bit of, like if you feel that, you can feel that it's got some good rebound to it.
Rebound, I like that. All right, wrapping up day one, we did materials, we did shoulder straps, back panel, and we finalized the organization in the front hatch compartment. We got a couple of mesh pockets on the top, 2 on the bottom. We're getting there. And remember, if you want an even deeper behind the scenes look at me building this backpack, and you want to be able to vote on some of the key features, be sure to sign up to the Nomads Nation email list with the first link in the description below. You'll get sent a survey about your backpack preferences right away. So I got the laptop sleeve they're about done with. Don't even try to convince me in the comments to stick with this purple. It's not gonna happen. Yet again, we're sampling, we're using whatever materials we had around, and go figure, Luke wanted to use the frickin', the Prince Barney color. The laptop sleeve will be in its own designated tech compartment in the back of the bag. False bottom, Velcro attachment, tablet sleeve, laptop sleeve large enough for a 16-inch MacBook Pro. And I'm loving this material that Luke chose. Normally I like go with like a microfiber material. This though is like a squishy, elasticy, but well padded, like spandex almost. It's just gonna be an iron throne for your laptop, but a non-purple one. So Luke and the team behind me right now, they're taking a look at the shoulder straps and they think there's room for improvement. Because as we're sampling, they have ideas, right? But it's not until those ideas are put into action and they are analyzing them and realizing, hey, the shoulder straps are good right now, but how can we make them better? And the thing is, you can see we got a lot of cooks in the kitchen, right? And everyone here has been making backpacks for decades. So we've got a lot of different perspectives and opinions and sometimes some differing of opinion. But at the end of the day, it's about figuring out the best way to move forward in a way that works for the bag, but also while hitting our deadline because clock's ticking. So now, as you can see, we got the styrofoam on the back panel. It's all cut, laid, glued down, and then this gentleman is putting the mesh on top, and then he's gonna sew the mesh in the pattern that it needs to be sewn in. All right, so there's a lot of things in this bag with this first sample that we wanna knock out of the park, and there's some things that are gonna require a bit more development. Luke, in your opinion, the back panel, is this a finished back panel after this sample, or are we gonna need some more sampling and testing?
Actually, we made a couple of mock-ups before we came here. I think the design is pretty clear. It's really going to be about material choice, but also what's going to be important is just the general stability of the back panel.
Okay.
It is a small bag, so you know, it doesn't have to be stiff like a hiking pack, let's say, and we want it to be light, right? So you have to find that right balance between weight and stability of the back panel.
Welcome to the Sang. Let's freaking go. I woke up feeling very energized today and excited because we're getting closer to these samples being done. And I don't know if I've made it clear, but we're actually doing 2 different samples, 2 different versions. And the reason we're doing that is that we have a lot of different ideas on features, and we're not lost when it comes to materials, but we have a lot of options with that as well. So the way to sort of determine the best direction moving forward for features, materials, and everything in between is to kind of experiment. And that's why we're making 2 versions of the fiber bag. Let me show you how we're breaking that up. So version 1 is this guy. We're doing a waxed sort of canvas polyester mix. That's what this gray material is, which gives it a more traditional kind of heritage muted vibe. And this bag's gonna have all the current features that we're considering, including the expansion and testing the stowable water bottle solution, which we'll see what happens with. And then option number 2 is going to be a more, let's say, minimalist version with no expansion and a traditional exterior water bottle holder. And we're using it on this honeycomb nylon polycarbonate melange material. Luke's absolutely crazy about this material. He said, if you don't use it on your bag, mate, I'm gonna use it on mine. Both materials are super unique and they tick all the boxes that we need in terms of price point and durability and style and all these other things. But when you see them side by side, they create completely different bags. So when they're done, putting them side by side then is gonna be like mind blowing, and then we'll have to make a decision on which direction to take and probably still even test out more materials on top of it. We got big decisions to make. You know, I'm curious, this light gray sort of a back panel, it's kind of growing on me. What do you think? Do you think that like the darker colors with the light gray back panel works, or do you prefer it to be consistent? Let me know in the comments below. Day 3 ended with us looking into hardware options, analyzing fabrics, and working with our expert sample team. All right, so today is it's Sunday. Yesterday was day 4. I just worked, not much to show. But today, I'm not working, and I'm just gonna take you around Ho Chi Minh City a little bit. I got a few errands to run, and I got a bunch of requests to show more of Vietnam. So let me put my super badass helmet on. That's right, safety first. This thing is sick. That looks so cool. All right, let's ride. All right, first up, we're driving to District 1 downtown to go to a market so I can buy a new pair of sunglasses. Because with a helmet this cool, you need a pair of sunglasses that can match it. Am I right? So I was gonna go to a market that I usually go to, but then I was driving by and I passed the Hello Weekend Market, which is super hipster and kind of cool. And I found these glasses, $6 a pop. They're not Ray-Bans, they are Redons. Close enough. All right, it's lunchtime, which means it's pho time. Actually, for the Vietnamese though, they have a tendency to eat pho for breakfast, which sounds weird until you try it. And then once you try it, you realize, oh my God, you realize it's the most glorious thing in the world. Let me show you the little pho setup. All right, we got the pho itself. This guy's beef, limes, peppers, basil. Don't know what this is, but I absolutely love it. And all the spice you could ever need. I think I overspiced it. I'm just so stoked to be doing production in Vietnam. It's just an amazing country with an amazing energy, with amazing people, and next level food, and I just can't wait to keep coming back here once Fire launches, hopefully for years to come. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're getting there. We got this guy right here. This is the middle section, right? So it's sort of piecing everything together. And you can see those little clips. Those are from Woojin, and that's gonna be for the stowable water bottle solution. I am so curious to see how well you're gonna work. All right, guys, I wanna introduce you to Richard. He's the owner of the Sang. Richard, a couple questions for you.
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from Korea.
From Korea?
Yes.
How long have you been in Vietnam for?
20 years.
20 years. And how long have you been making backpacks for?
25 years.
25 years.
Yes.
Tell them, 25 years?
Yes, 25 years since 1996 or 7.
That's a long time. It's almost as old as I am.
Are you? No.
And who are some of the companies and brands that you made backpacks for before?
Like Nike, Adidas, Puma, those sports brands. and outdoor brands for Osprey,
Osprey, North Face,
North
right?
Face.
You said there was a luxury brand too.
Coach.
You Coach?
Yes.
And then, but now most important of all, Fyro, right?
I believe so.
I'm just really hoping that we can get this done before I go. We're so close, like I feel like we're so close, but I'm leaving in 2 days, so we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it. We got a problem. So as the day was winding down, Luke noticed a stitching problem on the V1 sample, the gray one. We got some puckering issues. The stitching doesn't look good, and we might not be able to finish in time now, or at least not finish 2 samples. And this is bad because the clock is ticking. I mean, tomorrow is already. All the separate pieces are almost finalized. You can see right here, we've got 3 back panels. We've got 3 backs of the main compartment. Right over there, we actually have the center pieces that tie it all together. So now that's exactly what's gonna happen. We're gonna take all these separate pieces and tie them together before I leave tomorrow. It's gonna happen. So in response to last night's dilemma, the sewers have gone ahead and tried a few different techniques out to fix the puckering problem that we're having. And that literally means that they take their sewing machines, recalibrate them, and try and attack the canvas material with sort of like different techniques to see if they can get the material to where it needs to be. Do you see this lid right here? It might not look like it, but this lid is a piece of work. And obviously it's the entire identity, right? It's the entire front of the Fyro pack. So it just needs to be perfect. There's no way around it. From the materials picked, to the way that it's folded, to the way that it's stitched, and then doing all of that in a way that is scalable in production. It's a bit harder than it sounds, but we're getting there. So the team is putting their best effort in, but it doesn't look good for us finishing the samples before I go tomorrow. We encountered some problems, which is good that we found them now so we can get them fixed. But every problem we found put us a couple steps back. We got 1 more full day tomorrow to finish both versions of the samples. Not looking too good, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. You gotta understand, I'm not making up like fake drama. This is really the last day. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I don't know if we're gonna make it. We got the team at the Sang working hard, trying to pump out all the samples. So we got the whole team here. It's all hands on deck. We'll see. And we've got Lynn at the factory now. Lynn is like Luke's lieutenant. She's helping us take a look at the stitching, the water bottle pockets, and helping us pick new materials. Now we are looking in depth at the stowable water bottle solution idea. This is us getting really creative with the feature. I think it's definitely gonna work. It's just gonna depend like how well it actually works. Okay, we're getting closer. Now we're applying the binding. And I'm wondering, like you are maybe, Luke, what the hell is binding?
I'm glad you asked.
I'm sure you are.
Okay, so here we have the outside of the bag, and we've just put this internal section on, and we've had to sew these 2 pieces and these 2 parts together around here. And so you see that there's this edge here that's exposed, and binding is literally just to cover that edge and just add a little bit of extra strength around the bag. So the binding will go on here and just cover this edge. You can see it in every bag.
For sure, and it's one of the last steps.
Yes, once the binding goes on, then we basically turn inside out. Yeah, and then we can.
So you're saying, for me walking out of here with the sample, there's a chance?
1 in a million. But there's still a chance.
There's still a chance. So you can see right here, the bag is flipped inside out, and we've added this binding along the rim. Next up, we keep the bag flipped inside out, and they'll have the front section and bind that as well. And then, flip her open, and we'll have a backpack. One with a front, a backpack nonetheless. Trying to put together the zipper pulls right now. We have a custom Hypalon solution. The Hypalon has been cut, the zippers are ready, and you can see the team. Normally, this would be done via a machine, but we're putting it together by hand. Pressure's on.
What do you think so far?
So far, so good. We're so close. We got like 15 minutes left. It's the 4th quarter. We got the A team on it. All right, so this is the final part. We got like 8 minutes left. We're just gonna make it. In this final stage, these ladies just sort of cut all the loose threads, polish the bag up, and then they're gonna pop it inside out, and we got us a sample. Thank you. V1, baby. 15 months later, we finally got a sexy sample. So this is V1 of the 2 samples. Second one's right there. This has got the canvas material. Back panel right here, we're using the light gray mesh material, super clean. I like this mesh a lot. It's got a little bit smoother of a finish to it. And the feature we're all waiting to see how it works is our stowable water bottle solution. This is us really like just pushing it to the limit, seeing what innovative features we can bring to the table. It looks clean, but I'm gonna test it out over the next few weeks to really see how it functions. Oh, and check this out. What I've been waiting to show you guys is the lockable front hatch compartment, right? So this gives you the best of both worlds, where you have A, quick access to your gear whenever you want it, but B, when you're in those situations where you want a little extra security, you just go ahead and snap this into place, and then, et voila, no matter if you're on the train at home or traveling the world abroad, the compartment is secure. We're gonna tinker with a few other options, but right now this works pretty damn well. All right, and then we got V2 done as well. This is a more stripped down, minimalist version, no expansion, so a cleaner side panel, and a traditional exterior water bottle holder. So now we test, or I test. Now I test. I'm gonna take these bags back to Hong Kong with me and just work the living out of them. Which one will win? Time will tell. Okay, I finally made it back to Hong Kong with V1 and V2 in my possession. Now my goal over the next week is to test these guys out, see what I like, see what I don't, and report back to you. I'm gonna do a full breakdown of both these bags, run you through their features, the materials, and the big decisions that we have to make. Remember, people on the email list get first dibs on this content. So if you want an insider look at what's happening, the first link in the description below will give you all the information you need. And expect to see me doing a breakdown of these bags in a week or two. I'm Aaron, this is Nomads Nation /Fyro, and we'll see you soon.